It says Cards, Dates, and Inseparable Love, a visual novel that I put on the list to play because I remember seeing a playthrough at some point, and I remember it made me tear up a bit. Probably won't happen when I play it again because I have a decent memory of what happened, but if it was good enough to do that, it's probably good enough to play again. So yeah, the credits. Those are the credits. There you go. Might as well show that now because I'll probably forget to show it after I'm done. The chapter select, so this is probably decently long. Got like 2 hours, so hopefully it's shorter than that. This is a story about two magicians with two different personalities. One who is very outgoing, the other who prefers being alone. But it is a matter of someone's gift that will change her life. Act 1's Cards and Cafe. Alice has probably the most bored face on her right now. She cannot believe where this black witch has taken her to. It's the advance button. I don't know if there's like a keyboard, a key that does that. I don't know. I'm just gonna press this button in the corner. Hey, come on, it's gonna be fun. Right. But why don't you ask Rainbow? I have dolls to make, you know? Marisa looked at her with a frustrated look while having her eyes closed. It is a miracle she avoided bumping into people while walking like this. I saw this really cool shop while on the way to see Rainbow, a modern cafe in our village in the Forest of Magic. Well, Rainbow, being a party pooper and all, doesn't want to come with me. She kept saying I got a shrine to take care of despite the fact I cleaned up for work just yesterday. I see. And you looked for me to go to this place? Yep. I got really sad on my way home, till I saw your house. You need some fresh air too, so come along and let's go do this. Let's go to this Cafe de Genshokyo. It's newly made. Why did I not hear it before? Is it run by the Scarlet Devil Mansion? Yeah, it is. I saw Quackama working here, and the building's quite recent. Not here 3 days ago, and bam, here it is. Probably because of Patchley's magical capabilities and Sakia's ability to stop time, they can make construction like this is a breeze. Marisa looked ahead and continued marching giddy. Alice can only sigh and continue walking with her. You could have just asked Patchley out, you know, if you didn't keep stealing her things. They stopped at their destination. It is much closer to their home than Alice expected. The bell on the door rang as they opened the door and walked inside. Upon entering, they can immediately hear smooth jazz playing from a record player, the type of tune that you can hear only from a modern cafe, or a 1,000-year-old scientific institute underground. Pairing with the warm lighting and scarlet red atmosphere, it is quite welcoming. It almost feels like you are in a bubble, secluded away from the mundane feeling of life. The Scarlet Devil outdid themselves. To top it off, Marisa was right. Quackama did work here. She was behind the bar table, cleaning mugs. Her eyes gazed upon them when they entered. Welcome to our cafe. Oh, it's you. Quackama looked at Marisa with a stern eye and did not seem to be happy meeting a thief here. Marisa does not give her a good impression due to her borrowing habits at her master's library. Unfortunately for Quackama, she has to contain her resentment to give them the best customer service, or else the cafe's reputation will be tarnished and she will get lectured by her master. Please take a seat and tell me what you would like to order. And they sat down and ordered what they wanted. Quackama took their orders and wrote it down in her notepad. It doesn't seem like anyone else worked here other than her. Thank you for ordering. Please wait while we prepare your orders. Quackama went to the kitchen preparing what they had to order. The two sat quietly for a while. Not long after that, the silence started becoming a little too awkward. Alice had this strange feeling. She had the urge to say something to Marisa, but she couldn't seem to pull herself to talk to her. ... The silence continued, but not for long. Hey, you want to check this cooler drink I got recently? Marisa pulled out a plastic box. It seemed like a box that is used to package playing cards in it, but Alice felt a scent of magic in it. Another one of your stolen items? Hey, I borrowed them, you know. Besides, I found it while I'm adventuring yesterday for more secret magic books. Okay, but what is so special about these cards? Hee hee, you'll see. Marisa excitedly reached for the deck and opened the deck box, but as her finger touched the cards, it suddenly flew up all by itself and danced around in the air. For a long deck of cards flew around, circling Alice and Marisa in an elegant way, the card backs facing against them. Alice and Marisa both looked at each other, then to the cards as they danced. They know that the cards themselves are not dangerous, but they felt the cards just looking into them, into their soul, into their minds and feelings. After a few moments, the cards floated and placed themselves nicely on the table in a 5x2 style of arrangement. The girls looked at the cards laid on the table suspiciously. You're really weird. Never expected the cards to work that way. You feel it too, right? They looked into our memories. Yeah, I'm kind of skeptical about this, but we didn't feel any hostility. We should be safe to play this game, I guess. Don't mind if I do. Hold on, how do we play this game? Well, from what I read from the box instructions, we both pick a card from the draft. If our cards are a matching pair, we will be magically convinced to start a conversation about the content in the card. If it is not a matching pair, we will have to pick again. I don't exactly know in what form we will be magically convinced to start a conversation, but let's just go with it. Alice seemed confused about the properties of these cards, but she nodded. At least they had something to kill the time with while they waited. You're not making a first move, and I'll go first. Hello, Orin. Wow, that's matching. A spell card. Can I use this? I don't think this card game allows us to use spell cards against each other. Hey, you'll never know. I can always copy deck power at will anyway. You and your copying techniques, but I guess that's how you get your spell cards. And obliterate them. How about you, doll maker? What you got, huh? A bunch of dolls? A bunch of elegant dolls swarming around distracting you while I gauge your abilities and find an opening. Ugh. Orin. But you know what ain't boring? You're not suggesting us to... Yeah, combine our abilities to be a great pair like last time, right? That was the wrong button. That's what this does, apparently. It gets rid of the thing. This is a log, isn't it? Yes. Captain's log. Alice thought for a moment. The last time they worked together, it was filled with bickering and trash-talking, both to themselves and the enemy. But if there is a chance to work together again... Why aren't you thinking? Nothing. Let's continue on. That's not matching. That's matching. Now, Annie Hackero, what's this about? Magical items? I mean, you do have a lot of it. Care to talk about what you have in your shop? You're the one to talk. You like hoarding magical items too, but I suppose that cannot be helped. It is a great chance for Alice to know what Marisa has in her shop. She always wanted to take a look at it, but the last time she visited her shop, it was the most unsightly view she had ever seen. Magical items were strewn just about everywhere, even the dangerous ones. She had to make sure some of it was in a safe spot just so that other magical items would not cause a reaction. Quite strange that her house doesn't blow up as much as the STM does. Well, I had a magic carpet that had a mind of its own, a pistol with magic bullets that can be trolled, a sword that can slice through dimensions, and a magical shield that can deflect any projectile. Also, I haven't mentioned these Ruiks of Eternal. Alice was a bit perplexed by what she said. She never saw those items in the shop before. Does Marisa have a basement to store even more items? What does the basement look like? Is it as messy as the shop itself? The dollmaker shuddered as she thought about it, and was glad that she did not visit the basement. It was driving her insane. In the membrane. That's cool and all, but why not bring those items to battle instead of what you have right now? Aren't they more powerful? Well, need me to remind you how we deal with our enemies? You know, a lot of bullets, as if we're in hell. They could hear a slight drum beat in the distance. Who knows where it came from? It's a cheeky way to say bullet hell, but yeah, aren't those items you mentioned suitable though? Yeah, but I can't even control it. What if my carpet escapes when I need it the most? What if I panicked and missed my shot with the pistol? What if I cut open a dimension portal? Don't get me started about the Ruins of Eternal. All in all, I prefer my broom, my mini Hakro, a wand that I rarely use, and my whale-hidden mushrooms. Heh. Alice nodded. Those are some stupid reasons to not use those magical items, but she can guess that she wants to use her own abilities to further improve herself. What? You skipped out on the shield. Why not use it? What shield? Let's continue with the game, alright? You are planning to use it, aren't you? Doll. Dolls, huh? Oh, dolls? I kind of want to know more about your dolls. What do they mainly do at your house? Well, they help clean up the house, serve me tea, cook food for me, so on and so forth. You live alone. How often do you need to clean up after yourself? One of those kind of people who feels the need to dust the entire house like every couple of days. Really? That's it? Are you expecting them to help me dress while feeding me cakes, bow down wherever I walk past them, and when they misbehave, I lecture them for hours? Yeah. You and your imagination, I swear, but it does make our conversation a little bit more exciting, I suppose. Then there was silence, but not for long. Alice decided to use this opportunity to take a sip. Sure do you make dolls that look like me? It's bad time for Alice to take a sip of her drink. She almost spat it all out onto Marissa's face. Dolls of you? You heard me? Well, did you? She gulped as many questions raced into her head. How did she know? Did she somehow place a magical item that spies on me? Did she finally put that thievery to good use and looked into my house? Not that she minds anyway. Yes. Okay, well how many? Alice swallowed whatever that was inside her throat further down. She does not like lying after all, especially Marissa, who has done so much for her. 10. At that moment, she saw Marissa's face become red. She is blushing. Yep. You actually care about me? So let's just continue on with the game, alright? This is the second game in a row I've played where it's one character has made a doll of the other one. That was that. Patchley's hat. What about Patch and the Scarlet Devil Mansion, though? Yeah, I wonder who likes to steal from them. Aw, come on, I was going to return them. Well, one day at least. It'll be the day when I actually age a year. Which is never. Right, but why steal from them, though? Are you kidding? They have countless magic books undiscovered by humans. If I could read and master them all, I would be the greatest magician ever. I had a chance to surpass Rainbow. And also because of when they first came. Yep, also because of that, gotta keep them in check somehow. But lately, Quackhammer has tightened up the security in their library. Gotta be a little hard to infiltrate the premises. Need some help from the doll maker? Oh, that'd be lovely. You can send your dolls to distract them. Maybe let them play. And you have a conversation with them, which further distracts them so I can steal you more books. Both of you do know I can hear your conversation, right? Alice always finds it cute when Marissa planned for something like this, even though she essentially has a free pass in the mansion anytime she wants. Yeah, all this planning and no notepad to write it down. Let's discuss this another time. Let's continue the game. Rainbow. A yin-yang orb reminds me of Reimu, my rival and bestie. Alice does not know why, but she felt offended when Marissa called Reimu her bestie, and for some reason she wanted to know more about Marissa's thoughts and feelings about Reimu. So what do you think about Reimu? What do you mean? Like, do you see her as a good friend, or as someone special? Well, a good friend, of course. Alice wanted to let out a sigh of relief, but she cannot rest easy just yet. She was preparing herself for Marissa's straightforwardness. We had traveled together, fighting yokais, fighting other big bads here and there. She's a good fighting partner and all. Her talent and abilities are way beyond mine. But I swear, she cannot be saved when socializing. Wherever I want her to go out, she doesn't want to. She always said, duties, duties, duties. I understand her pain, and I can see that deep down she just wants to be a normal girl. Her responsibilities as a shrine maiden are what stops her from following her desires. Not to mention, she is an airhead. The other day I explained my new spell cards to her. She doesn't seem to understand what it does until I literally use it on her. And she would scold me for trying to destroy the shrine. Also, whenever we went to eat, she always orders the most simple dish. I just can't handle it if I live with her. Marissa sighed. Alice looked at her with an expression that displays understanding. Seems like Rainbow's lifestyle and attitude are not compatible with Marissa's outgoing personality. She let out a sigh of relief, knowing that Rainbow was not the most important person in her heart. You seem to be relieved. What's wrong? Nothing. Let's continue with the game, shall we? Let's flip the cards. Cards, Alice. The girl finally placed the last two cards on the top of the deck. They heaved a light sigh of relief as the game was over. Man, that was fun. It actually feels like I know you much, much better now as a person. Been magically linked. I never knew this game existed. It seemed like the deck of cards are magically made to read into the user's mind, revealing their past information and printing it into the cards as an image to represent it. It truly is fascinating. There's two more cards. It's hard. Hey, Alice, you got any experience in holding hands? Alice? Not much. What? You're telling me you never touched hands before? Alice shook her head. It seems being alone would miss out on some intimate social interactions. Let me help you with that. The Black Witch got up from her seat and went to Alice's. The doll maker seemed puzzled at Marissa's words. Come on, there's more space over there. Let me in. Alice complied and let Marissa sit beside her, but before she can ask her what she is doing, Marissa placed her left hand onto Alice's right hand, palms touching each other. Marissa closed her fingers onto Alice's hand. Come on, do the same. A blushing Alice followed Marissa's orders as she closed her fingers. They were now holding hands together, akin to what lovers would do when they sat beside each other. And just like that, I'm now your first time. Alice could not stop blushing, and it does not help that Marissa's directedness is making her blush even further. Satisfied, Marissa entangled herself off from the dollmaker's hand before returning to her seat. We should come here more often. Are you sure you're not just trying to make me play this game with you again? Hey, the cards give so much power to you? They looked at each other and giggled before continuing their meal. Had just arrived as Quack brought their food. I hope you two had fun talking and not thinking of taking what's not yours from here. Here is your meal, please enjoy. They drank the tea. It is surprisingly good, as well as shortcake, rich in flavor, creamy and sweet at the same time. The cake melts in their mouth with a single bite, spreading the flavors easily, and a well-baked cake all in all. They commented about the meal before finishing up and paid at the counter. Please come again. Not you, though. The thief. Marissa simply scoffed at her, either from her pompousness or the fact that she had beaten them time and time again in thievery. As they walked home, the girls were talking much more than before. Alice felt much more comfortable and close to Marissa now, even though she had talked to her before this. It is more intimate than before, more heartwarming, like she just wants this moment to last. Do I still have the feeling, though? Hey, get down over here. Alice raised her head. She was outside of the cafe. You know, Alice, maybe we should spend more time together again, huh? I guess. I mean, I don't mind going out again with you. It's just... Alice looked at the ground, fidgeting. She does not know what to do or to say right now. That's okay, you can tell me next time we meet, alright? No biggie. I gotta go and tell Rainbow just how much she missed out. Alright? Oh, before I go, I want you to keep this. The cards? Aren't those yours? Mine are keepers, you know? Yeah, but I thought you could make use of this more, seeing that you rarely talk to anyone and stay in that little dollhouse of yours all day. Might help you as a conversation starter if you ever felt like having trouble talking. Marissa started to swing her body left and right. For some reason, she seems oddly shy this time. And if you have no one to play with, well, you can find me. Don't mind, we can play together, you know. Funsies? Thanks, Marissa. I will cherish your gift. Marissa ran off, heading towards the Hawkery Shrine. Alice stood there, looking at the back of the Black Witch as she ran off. She sighed, slowly walking towards the opposite direction and headed to her home. Why can't I say it just now? Has it really been this long since I felt this feeling? Act 2. I'm pretty sure there's 4 of these. The girl who wants to talk. The girl went deep into the forest of magic, each holding a basket filled with delicious cakes and sandwiches. Marisa and Alice were chatting happily as Alice brought her deeper and deeper into the woods. It has been 5 years since the Cafe de Gensokyo date, and they had grown much closer ever since. Marisa brought her out to hang out more, and majority of the time Alice accepts them. Times she did not accept was when she needed to fix her dolls up. Those times Marisa can never break her concentration. But this time it's different. Alice asked her out on a picnic date. Marisa was taken back by her sudden initiative, but accepted it nonetheless. Hey, where are you taking me to? Never been to this part of the forest before. Oh, you'll see. Hee hee. As they continued walking, Marisa saw it in front of her eyes. It's a lake. A huge lake surrounded by the lush greenery of the forest. The lake shined crystal clear as the sunlight shines in. There's a dock over there. Many mountains. The weather is fine. The birds are chirping, and the ice fairy is cheerfully playing with her friends at the other side of the lake. It is a majestic sight for Marisa and the perfect place for a picnic. Whoa! It's amazing. I never seen this place before. How'd you know about this place? Let's just say a person who lives in the forest of magic is much more well-versed in the forest than the one who just lives besides the forest. They both chuckled while taking in the scenery. Hey dummy, can you help set up a picnic area? Marisa closed her mouth, as it was previously agape to amazement. She quickly went and helped her friend to set up the picnic. With a little bit of magic, the setup was done in seconds, and they all settled down on the carpet. That's what's probably going to be the thumbnail. I'm pretty sure this was the game's picture. Or, like, thumbnail in the page. Wow, Alice, I still can't believe you bring me such a place. Guess it comes with age, eh? Says the one turning 25 this month. I brought us here so we can have a fun time together without other worldly distractions. 25. After saying that, she unloaded the contents of her basket, 2 cans of soda, 3 shortcakes, and 4 packets of rice crackers. Marisa also does the same, revealing her sandwiches and biscuits. Hey, you tried one of these? It's homemade. Alice hastily took a bite out of a sandwich that Marisa made. The 2 sauces of the sandwich, combined with the softness of the cooked meat and lettuce, made it into a heavenly combination that melted into Alice's mouth instantly. Marisa noticed Alice's facial expression and felt proud that her sandwiches had touched the heart of the magician. Well, I'm not the only one here improving my craft, eh? Once they have enjoyed the tea, sandwiches, and cakes, Alice pulls out a small metal container. Marisa looked at it curiously, before her eyes widened in surprise as Alice opened it and revealed the deck of magic cards that she had previously gifted her. Wow, you want to play this game today? What mood brings this deck here? Well, I hope we can have more meaningful conversations again, like last time. Are you sure? You're just trying to get closer to me? You know I can't lie, right? This time Alice applied a bit of manipulation magic onto it. Her hands start to wave in gestures as the cards slowly fly up and around, but more elegantly than before. It looks like she is controlling the card's movement akin to making a puppet dance. She must have practiced this well long before this occasion, and now it so happens to be a good opportunity for her to impress Marisa. The cards flew up, reading both Marisa's and Alice's memories, feelings, and desires. Before long, it placed nicely into its layout. Alice's heart thumped in excitement as she thought to herself, what can I get from her this time? Hey, Alice, it's your turn now, you know. Alright. Cheryl card does not go well with anything. Ah, teapot. Tea time, huh? That reminds me, what do you normally serve to your guests at home? I usually serve a normal human tea to them, unless they are fairies. Then some sweet tea will do. For cakes, I always serve shortcakes to them. Can't go wrong with them. That's all? I guess not many people ate your cakes, eh? Well, funny enough, my dolls always try to eat them. What? Shanghai once attempted to eat the cake by smashing its head first into it. Safe to say, she had to clean up her own mess at the table and then on herself. Never knew your dolls want to taste. Is that good? If the fairies are any indication, it's probably decent, I guess. Yeah, that's the thing about Alice's fairies, is that they're not, like, technically sentient. Alice, like, moves them around all the time. I think that's, like, one of her goals as a character, is to make a sentient doll, which she has never done. Probably never will. But that's mostly ignored because having the dolls be, like, goofy little sentient things is more fun. Now I want to be a guest in your house. Well, I don't mind the new guests visiting my house, especially you. Alice winked at Marisa, and she could only laugh. You do know I visited your house way too many times, right? Yeah, that's fair. Alright, that's enough about my tea time. Let's move on. The corner. Ah, spell cards. Thinking about copying moves again? Well, I still haven't crafted the deck of cards I need to, so... Alice was glad to hear that. Had she made another deck, she would panic and worry who Marisa would give it to. Maybe one day. Your copying ability. What else can you copy? I can only copy spell cards, so there isn't much stuff I can copy, but... Marisa pulled out a spell card. It looked nothing like before. I call this... Producer of Objects. What does it do? It copies and produces an object of anything. I haven't made a spell card myself, so I want to try it out now. What are you gonna try it on? Marisa pointed to the can of drink that Alice brought. Alice suddenly felt that it was a bad idea. And she was right. As Marisa cast a spell, the can of drink suddenly disappeared. They looked left and right before hearing someone yell in panic. It was Chirno, and apparently the can that Marisa teleported tracked where she was and fell onto her head. Why? I guess you should find someone to copy that spell of yours. Creating spells doesn't seem like your forte. Right. The other corner. It's a Chirno, who just beat in the head. Is that? Oh wow, it's the idiot fairy. Not very nice. You just smacked her in the head to then call her an idiot. Hey, don't be like that. Every living being has intelligence, you know? Well, not for her. Okay, why is that? I once told her that Scarlet Devil Mansion had a grand opening of their mansion. At first, she wouldn't believe me, but I pulled out a fake copy of my pass to the library. Then she took my pass away and tried to actually enter the library. She didn't even know that the Scarlet Devil doesn't have a physical pass. Even Quackma knows why not to have it. Uh-huh. And there was another time I was sparring with her. Kept using her signature spell card, Icicle Fall, but she constantly misses every shot. I laughed so hard, she did not like that at all. Marisa realized Alice's skeptical face. What's wrong? It's just, my impression of her was that she is a brilliant person with hidden strategy. I'm sorry. Like you, I sparred with her once. I employed my usual tactics and simply overwhelmed her with my dolls. Uh-huh. And then? Somehow she placed mirrors on the dolls to triangulate my position and found out where I was amidst the chaos and took me down all during the battle. What? Also, I fought her with my Goliath once. I kid you not, I was literally in the blender when she explained how she defeated me. I was very confused. She used unknown terms like cross-ups, meaties, setups, and even more when I researched what she meant. Those are fighting game terms? Yeah, exactly. I have no idea that she plays fighting games or how she does that at all, and applied it to defeat me. She's a genius. Yeah, but those are on combat. And get this, she knows how to trick yokais to visit the netherworld just by giving them directions to the realm. Then she told them this will make you stronger. The yokais asked why they should believe her. She simply demonstrated her power. What? And it worked? Alice nodded her head. Marisa was dumbfounded. How could that idiot of a fairy be this smart? But if what you said is true, how could a smart fairy be this dumb? They looked down and thought hard, but eventually came out with the conclusion that this will take even longer than the game that they are playing right now. Decided to discuss this another time. The machinations of the mind of the Chirno are an enigma. Hey! Rainbow flag! Best part, this month is Pride Month. I mean, it's August right now, but whatever. Random would have given me this 2 months ago, it'd be more appropriate. Well, Marisa, I have a question. How would you describe LGBT to someone? Well, it's simple. The movement essentially supports being homosexual, bisexual, and transsexual. We respect their lives and decisions and would give them the right to live as a normal human, as in the past many people saw it as an act of blasphemy. Alice nodded in response. It was quite straightforward. Not bad. But what do you really think, though, Marisa? Do you agree with the movement? What kind of question is that? Of course I would. Or else I wouldn't even be with you, eh? Of course. But really, though, I'm glad we came this far. Some people were born this way, others identify themselves differently. You need to realize that as humans, we are not perfect, but it's because of that we are unique. Don't you think so? We can't just discriminate against people because they are different. Alice can only look at Marisa in awe with her mouth agape, since when can she say something so cool? Ah, come on, dummy, say something. Well, I agree. Throughout my years, I have seen my fair share of discrimination in my life. However many years that is. How old are you? Who knows? As time went on, people are much more accepting to each other, and I am glad that the people are becoming more open and accepting of themselves and other people. If this keeps up, the illusion of world peace doesn't seem too far-fetched as reality anymore. Marisa smiled, finding that her girlfriend really cares about humanity despite being a yokai. She was human at some point. She always liked that side of her, a peaceful yokai that doesn't fight humans and seeks to wish them well all the time. Alright, enough talk, let's continue the game. We fit the theme without it just being a shipping game, like most of these are. Hey, it's that hat again. The Scarlet Group, the inhabitants of the most powerful magician. Again, they are quite awesome. I keep going into the library at any time I want. You mentioned that a lot of times, you know. Well, what do you want me to talk about? Oh, I don't know. What about the person that writes the books you've borrowed? Hey, Patchy's a good librarian, alright. She lent me a couple of the books I needed. The books I need for magical items, some books for spell cards, a bunch of other books I need. The best part, she can write all of them back. No biggie. Does she not complain about your exploits? Not really. Most of the time she was busy writing a new book, reading a brand new book from somewhere, or just simply doing her own thing in the mansion. She seems to be a quiet person, like you, Alice. Maybe I should visit her with the deck you have, eh? She gave me this deck as a gift. I won't give it away easily. Marisa laughs. She is definitely pulling her leg this time. Yeah, don't worry. I can make a new one for my shop. You know that you can't even find anything in the shop, right? Yeah, you're right. Alice was glad that she couldn't make another deck for Patchley. She will be really angry as the meaning of her gift is lost, thanks to Marisa's antics. Got you being jealous, eh? Yeah, let's just continue with the game, alright? Right, cards, Alice. We're continuing the game. Alice smiled gingerly as she placed the deck of cards back into the mailbox. Today's plan is a success. Marisa eyed her suspiciously, already curious what she was thinking about. Her lips opened, but instead turned into a smile as she probably had the same idea as hers. Alice was about to ask to play another game until they realized the sun had set. The girls quickly packed up their belongings before it got too dark. As Alice picked up her basket, Marisa stood in front of her with a smile. She does not do this often, and Marisa usually rushes her to quickly go home or go to another place that she just immediately thinks of. Most times she verbally asks her to hurry up, while other times she grabs Alice's hands and drags her to the next place of interest. But this time, Alice saw Marisa leaning towards her, and their lips connected. Alice was a little shocked at how sudden this is, but she doesn't stop Marisa. Alice closed her eyes, letting this serene feeling of hers continue, maybe forever if she could. For what seemed like forever, Marisa released herself from Alice. She let out a sigh, finally able to release her emotion, but when she looked up... Ah, crap, time's running out. Marisa pointed to the sky. It's starting to become darker than before. If you weren't so slow, it would have lasted 5 more minutes. Alice pouted. She knew Marisa was just teasing her, but she could not help but imagine, what if the kiss lasted 5 more minutes? Come on, we'll do it properly next time, just... Alice stopped pouting at this moment and tilted her head with curiosity. Marisa looked at the ground, her face a little red. She did not seem to be this embarrassed before. Sure, Rainbow, here's none of this, alright? Alice performed a zipper-pulling gesture and crossed her lips, promising to keep her word. It disappeared again. Alice walked home, happier than before. She never felt this happy before in her life. Hanging out with Marisa was unbelievably a lot more fun, and all thanks to the cards making her able to feel comfortable talking to her. You look forward to these dates more and more. It is as if Marisa has a special place in her heart now. I want to see her again. Do. Well, when I see you again. I want to play cards with her again. I want to keep seeing her forever and ever. The question is, will Marisa see for Alice forever as well? And so Alice and Marisa continue to hang out together often. Alice would bring out the cards and Marisa would play with her. They had conversations, moments of joy. Over time, Alice finds it more and more comfortable talking to her. Their bond grows and they start to develop feelings for each other. This continued for years. Several years. This is the driving force of change. It was a lazy Monday. Alice was sipping tea in Marisa's shop. It usually was not really kept well, but alas, after all these years, Marisa decided to tidy it up in a week for two purposes. One, to make sure she's able to sustain herself due to her growing age. She does not have the time nor energy to go for adventures anymore, thus rendering her to stay at home most of the time. Two, spending more quality time with Alice. Of course, Alice went in and helped her whenever she can, that is, whenever she's not tending to her dolls. She was worried that Marisa's in her 60s would not be able to clean everything in a week, as if it was just not Marisa's stamina that bothered her. Yeah, 35 is certainly a definition of several. It was the abysmal collection of magical items that they had to sort through one by one. Okay, done. The Black Witch walked out of the room with a clipboard, marking the final tick on the paper attached to it. She then placed the clipboard on the counter and sat down together with Alice. A cup of tea laid in front of her, between her and the doll maker. Ah, you prepared tea just for me? Thanks, sweetie. No problem, Marisa. I'm old. They then continued sipping tea in silence. That was probably too long. Marisa had waited 10 minutes for Alice to do something about it, but all she saw was her fiddling with the doll she made. It is quite clear that she decided to spend time with Marisa by fixing up her dolls again. Marisa does not really mind too much, actually. Considering her age and condition, she does not want to tell Alice that her time is almost up. She is not going to let her opportunity slip, so she has to say something. Hey, Alice. Yeah? You, bring anything fun for us old ladies? I do wish you'd stop putting us in the old ladies category, but alright, let's see here. How about we do a little puppet show? No way, it's always you who takes the spotlight. You probably just want to show off some new puppet technique you mastered. Alright, how about a game of chess? Nah, too slow and boring. You just do not understand the novelty of thinking strategically. Well, I do have one thing in mind that you will not say no to. Alice raised her hand, seemingly calling for something. Shanghai entered the room, floating to her hand. The doll was holding a metal box that was a little rusted. Placed the box on the table, waved its small hand to both her master and her girlfriend before flying back home. Marisa looked at the box closely. She cannot seem to put a finger on what it is until Alice opened the box. It was the deck of cards that she gifted to Alice 40 years ago. Once again, Alice happily harnessed her magic powers, and the deck of cards sprang to life, reading their memories, feelings, desires, everything about them. Then the cards arranged themselves nicely on the table. Black Witch was still looking at Alice in astonishment. However, it seems like she was lost in her thought. Hey, Marisa, are you alright? Was just surprised that you still have the deck. Does it mean that much to you, dear? I mean, it certainly helped me to talk to you. Certainly helped me to get you to talk to me more. Plus, at the time, I just want to know you more. But at this old age, I feel like I've just scratched the surface of you. What do you want to achieve with this deck today? To Spend more time with you? I know that you've been trying to spend time with me to make the most of our moments together. I believe this deck that you gave me will help me out. It revealed our feelings for each other, after all. It helped us connect together on a different level. Alice? It's time. I want to make sure our time here is productive and meaningful, so... Alice's face turned red again. In her immortal life, she has never been this direct. She has never made a move this big before, and it took her the last remaining courage to finish the rest of her sentence. Let's make the best of our time together. Alright, anything for my girl. Heh. The corners again. Nope. This corner? Nope. This corner. No, this corner? Wow, you don't like corners. Let's go to the middle corners then. There you go. This card is... looks like the netherworld, I believe. Place where people go once they die. Once they died, huh? You know, I've read a lot of mythology for each different country and culture. Do you think some mean big god will judge whether we go to heaven or hell based on how we live our lives? Well, no, Marisa. Aki's gonna do that. Or the way our afterlife system is already known. You know how it works. I mean, if it doesn't seem that far-fetched, Kinsoki was filled with magical beings after all. We do have Yama for starters. And the worst part is that no one has ever seen him yet. Haven't died yet, silly. Yeah, well, I'm just afraid that's all. What if Yama deemed me unworthy and sent me to hell? I don't want to get tortured by demons. You'll become friends with Akati or something. I'm sure she'll protect you or something. Well, I guess you'll probably end up in the netherworld. I doubt Lord Yama will allow you to heaven. Because they don't allow anyone into heaven anymore. But the netherworld is quite scary, though. Tons of ghosts and phantoms lurk there, and are all dangerous. Also, there's that gluttony ghost who can't seem to stop thinking about eating. Speaking of heaven, do people really enjoy it there? I heard it's some kind of paradise for all humans. Like, what's over there, really? I don't know. No one's talked about it. How about your friend Yukari? She knows what heaven looks like, right? She dodged the question when I asked her, so I don't really know for sure. Maybe it is true. What is true? That heaven is truly sealed. No more humans allowed there. Alice can only shake her head. At her age, she'll probably think about this stuff. To top it off, Marisa was not immortal either. But as much as he keeps questioning, the only way to find out is by herself. We'll never know unless we truly cross the boundary, alright? Let's continue with the game and think about this later. Alright. Sorry if I made you worry about me. It comes with age. So you are old. Ah, shush it, you. I don't need more reminders. You want to try the corners again? Oh, you like the corner that time. Hey, it's Alice's slaves. I'm sorry, if Shanghai and Horai heard that, they'd be very upset. Yeah, but I can't get out of my head, though. What if you treat them like actual slaves? They're always under your mercy, you know. I suppose, as a doll maker, it does feel that way. So you're saying you're actually treating them as slaves? No, stop pushing your narrative onto me. Ah, heck no, I'm getting to the bottom of this, and I know you can't lie to save your life. Tell me, what do you do when a doll fails to execute your orders? I reprimand them and ask them to do it again. Okay, what do you do if a doll defies your orders? I'll probably make them learn not to do it again. Lastly, if a doll has betrayed you, what will you do? I'll ask them why, and depending on their answer, either help them with their problems or forgive them. First aside, Alice is too good-natured to treat her dolls badly. Alright, you win. But here's the real question. What if I'm your doll? What will you do to me? Alice was taken aback by the question as she lowered her head and thought of an answer. Unfortunately for her, Marisa was not prepared for what Alice was about to say next. I would make sure no other dolls will harm you. Marisa's face almost had a visible red patch. Right, of course. Alright, let's continue with the game. You like this corner this time? No? How about this corner? There you go. Oh, it's Mini Hakuro. Yeah, that's my item. I spent countless times trying to learn how to use it. Speaking of learning magical items, how do you study magic? Why'd you want to know? Well, I want to know more about how you learn your magic. It could help me in learning something new. Well, you do know that I actually copied other people's abilities, right? Alice nodded. Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know either. Huh? I guess you could say it's a talent I have, eh? Don't be silly. Surely you could explain it even if you really can't? Well, that's the thing. I don't really know how I did it. I saw someone do it, and I'll be like, I can do it too, and try to recreate it using what I have. Most of the time, it works like a charm, but something that I can't do, like Kaguya's magic, requires specific items unless I steal her stuff. To learn is to imitate, I guess, and with what ability and talent I have, I will strive to become a great magician. That was a lot of spells. Alice was a little dumbfounded. She was not expecting a full answer, but she admires Marisa's determination to become a great magician through her own means. There you go. Hey, fairies. Right, fairies, huh? I find them quite easy to handle, actually. You just need to treat them like children. Well, I also play pranks with them from time to time. It's fun, really. Get to forget about the worries of life and just have fun playing in the forest. Marisa looked up to the ceiling while sipping her tea, the old lady's wisdom speaking for Marisa. There are times where I wish I could live a carefree life like the fairies, pranking people, being innocent, completely oblivious towards the world. Sometimes I just wish that I could go back to being a kid again, you know? The old witch shook her head before facing Alice with her trademark smile. Don't mind an old lady talking about being a kid again, will you? Let's just continue on with the game. Alice only nodded, but in her mind she has her doubts. At this age, you should have learned about it. Why don't you seek immortality yet? A book. The hoe is my favorite item at all. Other than dangerous magical artifacts, I guess. They're a lot more safer to handle, especially grimoires, which reminds me. Where is your grimoire? Alice was taken aback at the question. What about it? I always saw you carry it, but you never used it in your fights. Why is that? Well, I just prefer using my dolls. Marisa does not seem impressed by your answer. Is there a much bigger reason than that? What do you mean? All I'm saying is you could have unleashed hell on Gensoki if you just opened your grimoire and used it, so why not? Alice sipped her drink before clearing her throat. I just love my dolls. Each and every one of them are perfect in my eyes. I wouldn't want to throw them away unless I absolutely have to. That said, using my grimoire will put all of my dolls' lives in danger, and I don't want all my dolls to be gone. Even though I am an immortal and have plenty of time to replace my lost, I can't bring myself to end each and every doll's life using a magic book. It's too inhumane by my standards, plus I'd rather spend time trying to make the perfect doll anyway, instead of making more of the same. Well, never thought you'd think like that before. Kinda like it. Sometimes. Marisa's directness made Alice weak. Those compliments were definitely aiming at her heart, but she kinda liked it. Anyway, what about your grimoire? Did you bring it here with you? What? You heard it. Can I read your grimoire? No way, it could destroy this entire place. You're mocking me, aren't you? No way. Besides, I haven't taken a look at your grimoire. How would I know? Seeing that there is no way she'll get Marisa revealing her grimoire, she gives up. Want to buy my grimoire, though? You'll know what I wrote for. You'll know what I wrote for you in your section. It's actually tempting. I wonder what she wrote for me. Does she feel the same as me, or... No thanks. I'm afraid it's a direct copy of my spells. Marisa only pouted as she placed the pair of book cards away. Fine, let's continue with the game. As the ladies returned to finish their tea, Alice could not help but worry about her lover. Despite talking and getting closer to her, she still had a lingering question regarding one of Marisa's life choices, a question that has only grown more concerning as time goes on. Once Alice placed her empty teacup on the table, she decided to ask her the question. Marisa, have you thought of seeking immortality yourself? Marisa looked at Alice curiously. What about it? I mean, aren't you a magician like me? Why not live forever and be with me? You can play this card game forever, tend to the dolls forever, and even make sure your shop is a huge success, creating branches all over the world with your name on it. Well, that is true. But... The Black Witch looks toward the door, showing a look of melancholy, as if she had finally turned into a wise old woman. She starts speaking in a somber, wise tone as well. You know, I would like to have that too, but think about it. If you manage to live forever, does it make your life more meaningful? Sure, I get to live forever with you, but what about others? Reimu, I doubt that lazy woman would go for immortality too. Guess I could see Corin more often, but really? That guy? Also missed that Kappa at the Ginbu Ravine. I wonder how she's doing now. Turned her head, facing Alice with a smile, the kind that seems to have accepted fate more than anything else. All I'm saying is, if I become immortal, I would miss my adventures with them, along with my memories. I'd rather treasure everything, including the memories of you. Marissa looked up at the ceiling and chuckled softly. Strange, it seems my treasure hoarding tendencies have become a part of me. I guess I want to treasure all my memories. I'm sorry, I guess I'm selfish after all. Nah, it's alright, sweetie. Remember that one time a guy tried to woo you during the village festival? I know there's that boy not know you're immortal. He also doesn't know you had a girlfriend try to step in and insert my dominance. They laughed together, reminiscing about that memory when they were young. Then they looked at the darkening skies. It's getting late for them both. Alice got ready to leave for her home. Glad you're here with me, Alice. Thanks for helping to clear all the boxes of treasure. No problem, dear. See you around, alright? Heart. Alice hugged the witch, as she always does before they part ways, and as always, Marissa received it and returns the hug with love. They have hugged each other many times in the past, but this time it feels different. It feels like the acceptance for both of them. Someday, one of them will be gone, and one of them will be alone. Alice hugged really tight, as deep down she doesn't want her to be gone. She wants to keep hugging her again. It caught Marissa's attention. Alice? Is everything alright, dear? Huh? Oh, yeah. Just lost in thought about stuff. It's, dolls? Yeah, dolls. Gotta get back to making the perfect doll. See you soon. Haha, of course. Don't forget to think about me in your sleep, too. Goodbye. As Alice left the shop after the hug, Marissa adjusted her seat to face the shop's counter. She began reminiscing her memories about her life, thinking back about her adventures with everyone, especially her times with Alice. As Alice walked back home, her thoughts were racing. She can only think about Marissa. Guess can't be helped. She will be gone. It is just a matter of time. Alright, Alice. She accepts that she will be gone, and she is happy about it. But why are you happy about it, Alice? Why aren't you happy about it, Alice? Did I read that line right? Act 4, I wish to be with you. A gust of wind blows into the dollhouse. A strike of lightning illuminated the unlit room. Alone in the house sat Alice, looking at the familiar deck of cards that had been laid out nicely. She had stared at it for long periods of time now, not even touching the surface of the cards after knowing that Marissa had been sent to the air and medical ward due to her illness reaching critical levels. The only thing that clouds her mind now is her fear of seeing her love at the hospital bed, the static beep of the machine signifying the flatlining of her heartbeat. I can't. I have to be happy for her sake. I mean, you don't really need Marissa to play these cards, right? Right? Shaking her head, Alice reached out and flipped her first card. She saw spell cards. Remember her first time working with Marissa during Imperishable Night. She remembered admiring Marissa's ability to mount an all-out magical assault with her variety of spell cards and the use of Mini Hakuro. While she did display her skill of controlling her dolls, she felt that her dolls would be better if they were combined with Marissa's ferocity in battle, and that's when she decided to start crafting Marissa dolls. She could make as much as she wanted, but without the original it wasn't the same. It's okay, I know her best. I can make a doll that represents her the best, right? Those are my dolls. She remembered when Marissa went into her house and decided to try to play with her puppets. It did not go well, but to Alice it was a fun time together. She also had a memory of Marissa actually attempting to fit her magic brooms onto Goliath, and she put a stop to it immediately after chasing her around. And finally, she remembered when Marissa unexpectedly came in when Alice was instructing her dolls about what to do when Marissa enters her house. Marissa did not say it, but she stood there for 2 hours listening to Alice talking to her dolls. But what happens when she is unable to come to her house anymore? I'll craft some Marissa dolls later that should stop the pain. She knows that it is not true, but she lied to herself anyway. She looked at the card, reminiscing her days when Marisa would drink tea with her whenever they were dating. Marisa would complain about Alice's taste in tea, and Alice would comment on how her tea is obviously the best choice. That was not before they started discussing the shortcakes that Alice made. Then one day, Marisa brought Alice to her home and served her tea and shortcakes homemade by Marisa herself. Alice would not admit it, it was very good, arguably better than her. Maybe I'll confess to her about that next time I visit her. But is there even next time? Ah, her favorite item. Alice thought about the days when they talked about magic and spell cards. She remembered when Marisa brought a bunch of books she borrowed from the library and they read it together, discussing how to use it. She also remembered when they attempted to gather even more books to study together, although it did not really go that well. The one thing that she wanted to do was take a peek at Marisa's grimoire without her knowing. She could do that right now, but without Marisa, there's not much thrill of getting caught. In fact, without her here, there's not much thrill at all, and it hurts. Let's just get on with it. I have to carry on without her. Reimu. She fondly remembered visiting Reimu with Marisa, telling her about the relationship. Reimu congratulated Marisa nonchalantly, which made Marisa a little angry. Alice knew that deep down Reimu was happy for her, not because Marisa can bother someone else, but because she has the free will to choose her own lover. When Marisa was admitted to Aaron's medical ward, Reimu was the second person to visit Marisa after Alice. Just like Alice, she was sad that Marisa was leaving this world, but at least she told Marisa that she did not seek immortality like her. If only I can die of old age. Alice continued playing the game, not wanting to delve into these thoughts. She was disturbed by the sound of her house phone ringing. Could it be? Alice immediately stopped playing and ran to the phone, picking it up. Hello? Hello, Alice. It's me, Aaron. Just wanted to know how's it going? Everything is fine here. How is Marisa? Well, Marisa. Well, I'm afraid that she won't last much longer. I am sorry. Her condition is critical. I'm sorry, but we have tried her best, but her illness got the best of her. She only has tonight. The call suddenly hung up. Only the beep of the phone remains. Alice? Alice? She still could not believe it whenever she visits Marisa in the medical ward. Alice had suspected that Marisa had fallen ill for a long time, but never in her life had she prepared herself to see someone she cared so much about on life support. Turns out some illness cannot be cured by a Lunarian medical genius, and there is not much Aaron can do about it. The worst part was seeing the old witch, face full of wrinkles, still smiling whenever Alice came to visit her, despite enduring so much pain from her illness. Alice cannot bear it. The mixture of seeing someone in pain, yet showing them her warm, welcoming smile just hurts her in more ways than one. Alice ran to Marisa and gave her a hug from the side of the bed, unable to bear the pain from seeing her condition. Marisa felt her shirt get wet, not just from Alice's wet cloths, but also from the dollmaker's tears. Her only response was to stroke Alice's golden hair, trying to reassure her as best she could. Why don't you tell me about your illness? Can't really make you worry about me now. You still got dolls to make, you know. That's not funny. I would have abandoned them to fix you up. Leave Shanghai and the rest alone. Come on, girl, you're better than this. Alice started crying. She could not hold back how she felt anymore. It hurts. It hurts seeing you like this. It hurts to know that I can never see you again. Spend time together, spend time having dates like before. It hurts to know that I could have made you an immortal like me, but you refuse. I just didn't have anyone I felt like talking to. I don't want to lose you. Alice, I just wanted to play cards with you. The dollmaker can only sob. She had to make the best use of her final visit with Marisa as she uncontrollably let her tears flow. Her mind went back to the very first time that they shared their interest and passion on an intimate level. Alice, please, don't feel sorry for any of this. I should be sorry for not telling you about my illness. I didn't want to make you feel worried. Do indeed miss you. I fear what what will be like. Not being able to see you again, having you as my girlfriend makes my life much more worth living. Surely beats that shrine maiden. You also wish we could just spend a little more time together. Losing you hurts too. Erin stepped in, holding the metal box where she stored her cherished deck of cards. Shanghai brought this to me. I'll place it here. She placed the familiar metal box on the table that was attached to the bed before excusing herself. Hey Alice, can you do me a favor? One last wish of mine. Why don't we play the card game that I gifted you one last time? Alice wiped her tears, looked at the box, and made a decision. You want to have the last game with me, Marisa? Wouldn't have it any other way, Alice. As she said her words, the box magically opens and the deck of cards sets itself onto the table, creating the final stage for them to confess their feelings. This is it, the last game. This is a friend card? Friends? Alright, I wonder how they're doing right now. Alice looked at her curiously, as Marisa had known a lot of people in her life, both in her adventures and borrowing. There's a Scarlet Devil Mansion happening. It's Smart Patchley, Masher to Manor, Flandre Scarlet, and Quackama. There's that Kappa. Hope Kappa's lived longer than me. Corin. As long as he does not die a stupid death, I won't mind him outliving me. 3 fairies. Oh well. This is going to lose another pranking partner. Meiji sisters. Wish I could go down the underground and hang out with you guys. And of course, Reimu. I hope that old lady had an heir or somebody else to take care of the shrine, or else when I reincarnate Geno Hackray's successor, I'll be really sad. And lastly, she looked at Alice with her eyes full of love and gratitude. You're always more than a friend to me, my dear. Alice can only hold back her tears as she kept the pair of cards. Although Marisa told her that sentence a lot of times, this time it held a lot of weight in her heart. Is that? Yes, that is your favorite card. Book. Marisa chuckled. She knew how much Alice had fun mocking her for her love of books, but under that sentence was Alice's sorrow. She could not hide that from anyone, especially not from Marisa. Alice, when I pass it on, you gotta help me in one more thing. Alice gripped her hand hard. She would do anything to fulfill her dying wish. Help me return these books I borrowed back to the library. What? Why? Of all times to return them, why now? Well, it's only fair. I've learned a lot about magic from them. It's time to return the knowledge. These Quackama won't be mad at me. Patchley wouldn't need to rewrite her books, and Scarlet would let you in the library in my stead. Alice could not believe what she had just heard. She was touched by Marisa's need to get back to the Scarlet Devil, but it is not like they would let her in the library that easily. Then again, a wish is a wish. Alice will comply and follow it. She nodded with a tear in her eye. My hat, huh? Oh, that reminds me. Who's going to take care of my house and my shop when I go? Still a lot of stuff I haven't sold yet. Don't worry about it. No one else will touch your house under my protection. I'll let my dolls take good care of it, alright? Alright, that is definitely reassuring. Thank you, my dear. Alice still could not believe why Marisa cared so much for the items in her shop, but no one will touch her house under her protection. Nobody will, not with her massive amount of dolls. This card is magic, huh? Ah, yeah, it takes me back to the good old days, where I'm young and naive. What I wanted at the time was to become the best ordinary magician there ever was, so I studied hard, getting all the books I needed, borrowing them if I had to, copying other people's magic, and so on and so forth. Well, I did it, but in the end, I could not beat Reimu. Try as I might, cannot reach her level, even with training. The only problem is, she didn't even train herself. Even if she did, it's half-hearted. The last time we fought was 5 years ago, just to try and see if I could take her on with my condition. I tried my hardest, used all my knowledge, my spell cards, everything to defeat her. Finally become the number 1. In the end, I cannot defeat her. She's too talented. Ah well, at least it wasn't such a pain. I wanted to be number 2. Behind Reimu, after all. Just then, Marisa felt her hand being squeezed hard. Alice had a determined look on her face. Marisa, you're number 1 magician in my heart, so don't look so down. Even if you can't fully master everything, I'll carry on your legacy. I'll master everything in your name, and I'll even use your grimoire. The dying old witch can only look at her with a smile. Not only will her grimoire be preserved to continue to be written, Alice told her that she is the number 1 magician. knew that Alice would say that, but she is glad that Alice still keeps her in her heart, knowing that softens the blow that Rainbow gave in that decisive battle. I'm sure you would, my girl. I'm sure you would. There was only silence as the game came to an end. Alice could only sit beside Marisa, unable to say anything. Marissa's time is coming soon. She knows that well. But she cannot find the words. She cannot say anything. Even if she could, her emotions are preventing them from saying it out loud. Marisa, knowing the pain that her lover is feeling, reached out for Alice's hand. Alice quickly complied and held it tightly as Marisa spoke weakly. Dear, it's all right. It might be hurtful to see me go. It's just a fate for all humans. We come and go, leaving ourselves from this world to the other one. Our lifetime may be short compared to the average yokai, but as long as it is meaningful and full of memories, whether it be sad or happy, joyful or regretful, love or hate, we can say that we have lived our lives to the fullest. For clearly that you were never such a person back then. You always stayed at home with your dolls, rarely wanted to go outside, and even had trouble trying to find the words to talk to me. I had a love-hate relationship since the Imperishable Night incident. But look at you now. After you received the cards I've gifted, you used it to the fullest to come hang out with me, come to talk and have a laugh. Those moments are truly unforgettable. It is absolutely relieving to see you being comfortable talking with me. Thanks to you, I can confidently say that I lived to my fullest. Thank you for giving me the joy of life, the warmth of love, and the sadness of passing. Glad to have you not just as a lover, but as the great companion of life. So for my sake, Alice, live your life to the fullest for me and you. Do treasure my gift for the rest of your life. Alice was sobbing as she talked. Save yourself from worrying about me. I'll promise that I will be happy for the rest of my life, for your sake. Anything for you. But Marisa, please don't go just yet. Stay here a little longer, will you? Marisa can only chuckle. She has said enough. They looked at each other for the last time, a silent gesture of the great farewell. Alright. There you go. So, that was the last game that I had picked manually. Really took that long to get that game. That was like one of the first games I put on the list. So yeah, I'm gonna, from like number 114 to 167, I'm gonna renumber that. And then I'll go back to picking random games. Yeah, that was that. I mean, there's a lot I could say about that game, but you know, I'm not good at reviewing things, so I'll just let it speak for itself. Yep. So, that's all. Bye.